Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Pixelmon from the PocketPixels server. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. As always, this series is sponsored by PocketPixels, and if you want to come play with me, everything you need... little lag spike there. Everything you need is in the description. So let's go ahead and jump on to the Yellow server, and I'll show you what we've been up to. So between episodes, I've been doing a bit of breeding. Give everything just a second here to load in. There we go. I've been doing a bit of breeding. So I've been breeding Raltses, and I have 5 pairs right now of Raltses that are being bred. That means that one full batch will fill my my party of Pokemon. Once you account for the Talonflame that has Flame Body. So I can hatch 5 at a time. These ones aren't done yet, but I'm slowly working on getting all of the different natures for a batch of synchronizers. I've got 2 of the most important ones. I've got Jolly and Timid. I'm still missing Adamant and Modest. I'll probably quit once I get those 2, and any extra ones I get are, just sort of icing on the cake. But what I want to do in today's episode as I want to tackle this. This is the interior of our house, and it's not great. I would very much like to do something about this, because it's not good. Like, it's just all this open space, and it's not very attractive whatsoever. So let's warp to the block shop, and let's do just a little bit of shopping here to see what we can get. First of all, bookshelves. Let's start with 1 stack. That should probably be enough to begin with. And then that's maybe the only thing I need. Oh, I'll need carpets. Let's just go with maybe like dark gray and maybe light gray. We'll get a stack of each of those, and that's probably good. Lighting, we'll probably use hidden lighting for the most part in the floor, put it under carpets and stuff, so that should be fine. Yeah, I think this will be good enough. So let's go back home, and let's start kind of thinking about how we want to do this. First of all, we're going to need to decide what we want to use for furniture, and I'm kind of leaning towards dark oak as kind of our main furniture thing. Do I have an empty chest here somewhere that I can just dump all this random junk into? This'll work. There we go. Let's just clear our inventory of random stuff that I don't... That's a little weird. Let's try that. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, you're going to need to kind of think a little bit. This is supposed to be a fireplace. So I think maybe what we'll do is something kind of like this. Let me get... I know I've got bricks somewhere. Bricks, there we go. Grab that, grab this, and then I really just need like a single netherite, which I don't think I have. Although... fire spread may be turned off? Ooh, I actually don't know if fire spread is off or not, so maybe we won't do that, because that could be bad. Like, I would very much like to have an actual fire in here, but maybe we just have to leave it something like this and just sort of pretend that there's a fire. I think that's fine. But yeah, I'm thinking we'll put maybe a couple of like couches over here, some bookshelves, maybe this space. I mean, this is our way up to the 2nd floor right here, which I don't know, we may tackle that today as well, but we'll have to see. Maybe we can make like this area over here sort of the kitchen. That could be maybe okay. And then we'll have like a little living room area over here. We want to sort of divide this whole thing up into sections. And we're definitely going to want to put in some walls. We don't want this to just be one giant, like, open concept sort of place. So we'll have to figure some stuff out. But yeah, let me do some work on this, and I'll see what I can come up with. Alright, my friends, bit of a progress update. I've done a bit of work. So over here we've got kind of our kitchen area. And we got a fridge, we got a counter, some stoves, a little sink built in over here, and then kind of hidden is our elevator. I decided to do like a tiled floor pattern and put the elevator on where one of the white blocks would be, so it kind of hides it, but also it's not the exact same texture. I could have used quartz, but I do also want to be able to easily find the elevator, so I decided to do it this way, and I think it works out pretty well. Cabinets over here with like a little shelf area, and then Pixelmon actually has some pretty cool furniture stuff. So this is a refrigerator, and it looks like a refrigerator. And then in here we've got just like a little half bathroom with just like a little toilet and a sink, nothing fancy. Over on this side, this is the other part I've done. This is kind of like a little living room, sitting room type area. So we got sort of our couch and coffee table. Some light is hidden here underneath these carpets. With like a little rug, fireplace in the corner, some bookshelves, and then here we've just got like a little table with a painting. And then in here, there's like a little office space with like a lamp, a larger bookshelf, and just sort of a desk, nothing fancy. So that's kind of this area. You can see I also got rid of all those chests and moved them down to our storage room that we built a couple episodes ago. I finally got around to actually moving stuff down here. I've been putting it off because, let's be honest, like reorganizing storage is such a tedious process. So I've just kind of been putting it off, even though like I know I needed to get around to doing it, but yeah, that's my own fault. So now let's go ahead and do a little bit together. And also I should grab something like this and maybe a spruce fence. I don't know if this will work. What is it, 4? Yeah, so we won't have enough space to do like a hanging lantern, but we might just be able to use one of these end rods. That might still work. So I'm thinking right here, I want to have a table. And this is going to be like the dining room table, right? Because we've got our kitchen right here, so I think it makes sense for the dining room table to go kind of right here up against the window. And we just want to kind of wrap it around like this. And then what's this, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, we could probably do something like this, and then maybe we do benches instead of proper chairs. Because if I want to do proper chairs, I would want this table to be an odd number, so we could go chairs evenly spaced. But benches, it doesn't really matter. Actually, you know what? I think I do want it to be an odd number. I want to extend it out one more block, I think. Because it will just look a little bit nicer if it extends just a tiny bit past this wall. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. So let's actually bring the table out to here. Pretty big table, but that's fine. And then we can just go like 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be like our kitchen table, and that way this light can also be right in the middle as well. Is that what we want to do? I mean, we could maybe think about doing like a hanging... Nah, I think I like it with just the end rod. I think we'll actually leave the end rod there. That should be fine. And then maybe we'll find a way to put like something in the corner or something like that. So that's kind of our dining room area. I think that looks good. And then we have all this open space here in the middle. And that becomes a bit of an issue because it's honestly kind of hard to fill up that much space with things that actually like make sense. So let's grab some wool. One thing we can definitely do is put in a relatively large carpet. So maybe let's just go make a bunch of these, probably a bit more. I can always get more gray wool if I need it. Now what I like to do, let's see, where do we want this to go? Probably like here is what I'm thinking. Maybe something like that, and then have it kind of extend out So it would end up covering like this much space. Is that too much? No, I think that's probably fine. Something like that. And then we can hide lighting under parts of this. So we can put like a sea lantern here. Let's get rid of these end stone rods that we're not going to want. Put one there. And then probably one here. And one there. That should be enough. That'll keep most of this lit up properly. Now, what I like to do is kind of mix these textures so it looks like the rug is just a little bit sort of crinkled, I guess you would say. So what we want to do is probably just go something like this. Maybe we go here instead. And then we take these out and replace them with corresponding wool blocks instead. So like here and like so. So you can see we got kind of like a little crinkle here on the rug. And then probably do the same over here, maybe like that. Yeah, that should be good. Just to kind of give it a little bit of texture, right? So it's not completely just flat. I think that looks just a little bit better. So there we go. That gives us kind of this nice larger area rug. And then we just really need to fill this space here. And seems like if we get rid of our PC, which maybe we can move that to like over here instead. I do want to have a PC somewhere upstairs. I think that's probably a good idea. But maybe we can just put in like a little table, something like that, and then head back downstairs. Grab like a pot. Grab some sticks in case we want to make some paintings with our wool. And then we just need maybe a flower. Maybe we'll go with like a blue orchid. I like the blue orchid flowers quite a lot. You know what, actually, let's just grab a variety, because we might end up putting in more pots elsewhere as we kind of go here. So I'm thinking, right, there's my pots. I almost lost them. Let's maybe put that here. And then let's make a few paintings. We've got a crafting bench kind of hiding over here in this corner. Let's just make like, I don't know, 3 paintings. And we can kind of find places to put these. So like right here would be a pretty good spot, I think. For like a 2 wide. Yeah, there we go. That's actually the exact painting I was thinking of. This is probably my favorite painting. Like in vanilla Minecraft, honestly. That's my favorite out of all of them. And then maybe here we put another. I don't want the same one, though. Yeah, that'll work. Just to kind of add a little bit there. And then maybe we put one on this wall. Not that big. I don't need a painting that large. I would like a 2x1. Probably want to lower it a little bit, though. Put it like here. What are our options? I don't even remember all the... Sure, we'll stick with that one. That'll be fine. Just a couple paintings on that wall, and that looks a million times better. I'd still like some sort of something here. Maybe we can put in like a standing lamp in this corner. That'll help light that corner up quite a bit as well. And then maybe we can do like something similar here. Maybe we go like this and put a lamp in here with like a light gray shade. think that looks okay. Yeah, there we go. So now this is all, relatively lit up and decorated, and I think it looks 1,000 times better than it did. So I'm honestly pretty happy with this. Well, it looks like our next batch of eggs are ready, so that's pretty cool. Let's just go ahead and warp to the hatching road. There we go, and begin our long journey, because I do have something I want to talk about very briefly. So obviously, the new season of Hermitcraft has just started. We are now in Hermitcraft Season 9, which is fantastic. For those of you who may somehow be unfamiliar with Hermitcraft, that is a vanilla multiplayer series I play with a bunch of other YouTuber friends of mine. But anyway, that has just started. We are now in Hermitcraft Season 9. Oh, also, I need to go eggs 6 so I can track and see our progress. And I'm sure some of you may be wondering what's going on with Pixelmon and what's going on with Hermitcraft Season 9. So obviously, Hermitcraft Season 9, with it just beginning, it's going to be something I'm going to be spending a lot of time on. But I am going to continue the Pixelmon series as well. They're both going to be happening. There's only going to be one Pixelmon episode a week, as it has been up until this point, so I don't think it should really make that big of a difference that Hermitcraft has now started, because I'm only doing the one Pixelmon episode a week, and honestly the amount of time that I'm putting into these Pixelmon episodes really kind of pales in comparison to like Hermitcraft, because with the block shop and the community and all that kind of stuff on Pixelmon, there's a lot of things that I don't have to do. Like, as a perfect example, if I were to do the same thing that I did in today's episode, doing the interior of our downstairs, if I were to do that as a Hermitcraft episode, it would have taken me 4 times as long, because rather than just going to the block shop to use my Poké Dollars to buy all the resources, I would have to grind vanilla style to get all the resources that way. So, it's honestly a lot more convenient for the Pixelmon stuff. Like, it really isn't a massive time commitment. Now, once I really get into breeding, if I ultimately decide to do that, that can be extremely time consuming. Like, that can be the sort of thing where hours of your life just vanish. So I'm really kind of hesitant to do that, because I know, like, it seems like that's kind of what my Pixelmon series have always turned into, is me just breeding stupid amounts of things and spending hours upon hours upon hours doing that, and I'm really not super interested in doing that all over again. I'm sure I will do some breeding, like, breeding is kind of my thing, so I'm sure I will do some of it over the course of the series, but I'm certainly not going to spend, like, 7 episodes just doing nothing but breeding, or whatever, because that gets very tedious and very boring and very time consuming. Now, I mean, the nice thing about it is you can pop onto the server for 5 minutes, hatch your eggs, log off, and wait for the next batch of eggs. So it's not necessarily like it requires a ton of time as far as the amount of time you're actually on the server goes, but it can take quite literally like multiple days to finish a breeding project, like a single breeding project. So not necessarily something I want to commit to doing tons and tons and tons of this time around, because the time, like, and it's just not that like exciting. It's a lot of just like tedium, which, sometimes it's nice to have tedium. Sometimes it helps you sort of just kind of relax and chill, and you can kind of like, I don't know, pull up like a YouTube video or a Netflix movie or something on your other monitor and, just kind of relax and breed your Pokemon and not really pay too much attention. But sometimes you really have to do like a lot of stuff. But anyway, so long story short, Hermitcraft and Pixelmon are both going to be continuing. They'll both be happening. Pixelmon, at least for now, I mean, obviously always subject to change. Part of it is that, this is a sponsored series. So, and it's not necessarily up to me how long this series will be sponsored for. Like right now, it's kind of indefinite. It'll end when it ends, but, I mean, that's kind of between me and the people running the show on Pocket Pixels. But at the same time, also it's going to depend on how long I'm continuing to enjoy myself on Pixelmon and how much I have accomplished. Like, with every series, you kind of eventually reach a point where you just sort of feel like you've done everything you wanted to do. And I haven't reached that point yet with Pixelmon. So, we'll see. Subject to change, of course, but at least for the time being, Pixelmon and Hermitcraft are both going to be continuing simultaneously. One Pixelmon episode per week, and Hermitcraft, we will see. It depends on how long the Hermitcraft episodes are going to take. I'm not going to set a schedule for those. I'm not going to say one a week. I'm not going to say 2 a week. I'm not going to say one every 2 weeks. They will be done when they are done. But I'm kind of aiming for like 1 to 2 Hermitcraft episodes a week. Kind of. Like, that's my sort of very loose goal, if that makes sense. Anyway, I've probably rambled enough. So guys, I think I am going to wrap up this episode right here. These eggs are almost done hatching. I'm going to finish up the breeding. Hopefully we'll get, hopefully by the time the next episode is over, I will have all the synchronizers that I want, and we can get into breeding proper Pokemon. Ooh, hello. He's just finished. Impish. Lax, careful. Hey, Adamant. Adamant synchronized. Look at that. That's one of the 2 remaining ones that I really wanted. So now I think we're just missing Modest. But anyway, yeah, guys, that is going to do it for me. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.